This is actually our first Legacy of the Void replay on live. Hype?
Whoa, super important.
I know. It's like I was watching the I had mentioned that Overwatch tournament to you, right? And
Yeah.
they're making such a big deal about it being the first Overwatch tournament with a prize pool or something. I'm just like, guys, nobody cares. First means nothing nowadays. It's 2015. But we are going to be casting once again, and I'm stressing this is a replay from the round of 8 with some fantastic players that we're shocked didn't get covered by any streaming. So hopefully you guys can enjoy the ride with us. Try not to spoil it in chat if you already know the results, but spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, it's going to be the red Zerg Archon, Stephano, and Violet.
In the top left, as the blue Terran, it's MaSa and Trump.
All right, so Trump, kind of funny, a little bit like MaSa. He used to play StarCraft quite a bit, and again was one of those guys who didn't really get much viewership through it. Boom, Hearthstone comes out, king of the world. Him and MaSa have been doing so well in Hearthstone, and I don't blame them even the slightest for playing it, but I will say the StarCraft community definitely has missed both at certain times. But yeah, this is MaSa, not MaSa, I guess, because of what I just said as a tangent, totally unrelated. But yeah, so Hearthstone player and current StarCraft 2 great, probably best Canadian Terran there is, versus Stephano and Violet. Now Violet has been pretty, like, he's been consistently competing. He never really retired. And Stephano, even though he has been quote unquote retired, still even managed to get into a season of WCS. So I can't really think that he's gonna be too hard to play. While we were in BlizzCon though, Snoot told me an interesting tidbit about Stephano, by the way. In the car, talking about, like, he could never learn anything from Stephano, and it bothered him because Stephano has a way about the game that was very much just like intuitive. He didn't study a build order to make him a great player. He's just like, oh, I just feel like making roaches now, it seems right, boom, and it works type thing.
Yeah. It's like talking to a really talented artist. They say, like, you know, talent isn't a factor, but like, oh, F you, it is. And they'll just be like, yeah, you know, draw a circle and then draw the rest of the L.
So, well, I mean, like, there's one more comment to say about that. The reason I bring that up, story, is not just for a funny anecdote, but the fact that, you know, you might not be well practiced in the game, but that sort of intuitiveness doesn't really disappear. You're still going to have, like, I feel, good gut feelings.
Sure.
But gold base being taken out of MaSa and Trump, and it's not been scouted yet. This is kind of interesting to see. The Reaper spending a lot of time just kind of playing around with this.
Oh.
Again, see in-game player pings.
Wants to harvest these resources. I forgot they have the new pink. Oh, that was mine, actually. My bad.
Can we do different ones? No. Okay, so as an observer, you can't. You can only.
Yeah, that's what I was. This is exactly what I was testing. Nailed it. Anyways, so as this map gets more and more popular, if it's gonna stay in the map pool for a long time, anyways, it's probably going to be very common when you don't see a natural to be like, oh, well, duh, take a gold.
I wonder how viable liftoffs could be on this one, though. This really makes me think kind of back to, like, watching MMA on, what was it, Derelict Watch? No, what was that one? Habitation Station.
Yes, Habitation Station. The reason that Habitation Station was always that special gold base that even Van Eye couldn't really replicate, or what was Terraform couldn't replicate, was that it had one choke up a ramp.
That's true. This is
so
fairly
that
open.
always helped. But Van Eye also had, like, a pretty open one, but obviously it was still taken every single time by Zerg players, not by Terrans.
And we got a new sub. Got to give some love to Sickic Visage, by the way. Thank you very much for subscribing. Oh, one of these players eats the bomb with his face. That's not the way you want to get it done. There's a full wall off over here. But I've got a sneaky suspicion that Moss is playing macro and maybe Trump playing micro.
Maybe. Nothing's really happening with the macro, though, so they should probably change. Like, you gotta... They're losing their macro and not having a lot of things to micro anymore. All types of bad.
Tank will defend the gold, but yeah, still not really a great opening.
Very, very poor, in fact. Definitely taking away the power of what could have been that gold base. And it was only like 10, 12 lings, too, so... Very poor indeed.
I guess it is the question of thirds or not. Again,
it's so weird. What does that signal
Oh, that's
mean?
cool. You can it's retreat. You can actually mouse over it on the minimap, and it shows who pinged and what it means. So that just said,
shit.
That just said MaSa retreat. That's actually really cool. I like that.
Do it again.
Do it again. Okay, so we got a bit of a tank drop going off. This is one of those strategies that I felt unfortunately did get nerfed alongside what was trying to balance out TvT. But I thought was really cool the fact that this was, and I would not say as much anymore, but this was a strategy that was almost exclusively good in Archon mode. You could do this in regular 1v1s, but you didn't have the micro to dedicate to the kills this tank could get. I mean, I think my high score was like 50-something lings/drones/roaches. Like, you can do a lot with these tanks, given the right circumstance. So this is where you give one player and just say, look, focus on this, get kills, go.
But if they have queens, if the attack was delayed, if they just know what they're doing, basically. One tank really can't do a lot, and two tanks even are a little risky too. They see the queens are starting to get the surround. The tank, you know, focusing down queens doesn't really ever get the chance to kill them. You really want to get in the heart of the drone line or in the heart of lings.
Congratulations to Solidus Dub, by the way, just won a pro plushie.
Hey! Because he's a mod, and it was rigged.
Yeah, exclamation mark rigged. No, seriously, congratulations. Just gonna open up another one right now. Like I said, we gotta give away as much as we can before the stream's over. So we're just gonna start doing some more back-to-back giveaways. There's a ton of stuff to give away. Hoodies, StarCrafts, we got the hats and whatnot as well. This base has been more or less walled off. This is the most awkward way to choke. I feel like a natural base would have been so much better than this gold, because they're not really gaining advantage from it. Violet and Stephano have a fantastic economy in comparison. Yeah,
well, they would have if they had not taken as much damage as they did, and then it probably would have been worth it, but not now. Now they're just in a defensive position, so eventually they're going to get overwhelmed. They're just going to be zerged upon, basically. It's going to be like a cinematic here in probably a couple minutes. As there's no threat to Violet and Stephano. They can get a 4th base, they can get a 5th base, they can get all the tech they want.
Yeah, I've just learned, by the way, our good friend Crank still has a lot of stuff he's trying to raffle off as well, so if we don't manage to raffle all of our stuff off, we'll probably send you guys Crank's way once the stream's done. Get some goodies over there as well. I thought it's really cool that they set that up for the Legacy launch to give some of the streamers like just cool stuff to give away. I don't even care that it hyped or didn't hype streams up. I just love that it kind of includes the audience more. It's like, oh, well, we like Legacy, but now we love Legacy.
I'm sure a lot of the audience appreciated it. And I know people love free shit. I mean, that's the only reason that... No, actually, I'm not going to say that. I'll say that's the only reason that GOM ever has people in the studio.
Marines are going to get picked off there.
Oh, I guess they're not GOM anymore. I can't say that anymore.
Awkward.
Oopsie. Oh well, whatever.
Spinecrawler is going to be a bit of a problem, but not for long. So you think should deal with this fairly quickly. Slow Banelings. Baneling's speed is still about 30 seconds out. So there's going to be a time where these tanks can rule the front lines, but Ling's going to wrap around from the backside, picks up the tank, starts lifting to the high ground. Going to have to abandon one of them. Several Marines out stranded. Here comes the Banelings, but picking up to retreat to the safety of those tanks. This is a great push out of MaSa and Trump.
Yeah, that was in fact a very impressive push. Now, one of the reasons it was so impressive is that there's no anti-air, so that there's no Krebs on the medevacs, there's no mutas to snipe those tanks. They're left alone right now. If mutas were out, this would be an easy cleanup.
I like the corruptors actually quite a bit more. Just the tankiness to actually dive in and pick off the medevacs. Like, okay, they can't shoot down like mutalisks can, but they stop any mobility from the Terran.
Either one is a good choice right now. Just that whatever one you did choose, they would have liked to move out a lot sooner. Now, they do clean this up, and Terran is still only on 2 base. That is part of the reason why that attack was so good. And they lost, like, their gold, their 3rd technically, but they already, like, expanded to a 4th, and the 5th is on the way too.
My gut reaction, too, is after the attack, looking at the minimap, going, oh my god, but Terran lost their natural, this was go- Oh, never mind, that's right, they never had it.
Yeah, never took it. I don't think they can actually stop a counterattack. They have a couple of Marines buying time with reinforcements, but there should be a huge swell of Lings and Banelings coming out here. Don't have a macro hatchery, and losing a hatchery is more devastating because of the larva than anything else, but... Oh, this is the map with all the gold bases.
Yeah, lots of gold bases. Mr. Devoted won the raffle for the Pro plushie, but he already won a pair of Zergling slippers, so we've gone to the next... We just redrew it immediately to Crunchjaw. So congratulations, Crunchjaw. Now, Mr. Devoted, if you would like to privately sort something out, like you'd rather have the plushie and he'd rather have the slippers or something, by all means, go ahead and sort that out between yourselves. But Crunchjaw, congratulations on another Probe plushie giveaway.
This is probably the last desperate push, and it's not very big. Down to 72 supply,
No,
down on workers force too.
You know, furthermore upgrades while this is going on as well for these lings. They're gonna actually be able to shred through these marines. There's no armor upgrades. GG gets called, and looks like Violet and Stephano are gonna take game number 1 in this best of 3. Woo!
I mean, their game plan was basically entirely messed up in the first 2 minutes with those lings, so that kind of sucked.
It was cool seeing though. I mean, that push looked like it had potential to win the game. Like that was close to doing too much damage. But yeah, the gold base got screwed pretty much. All right, guys, small 2-minute break. We're gonna set up more raffles, more giveaways. Again, a couple more things to hand out like pylons and whatnot. So we'll see you guys in 2 minutes.